I'm very fortunate to have been in the region for the last 8 years and exposed to some really interesting clients and type of programs. And thank you, Pierre. The GCC article that you showed there with Mr. Alabar was actually talking about my program and my team and the work that I was doing at EMA. A very interesting time and a very interesting company and program. So my background is Microsoft and Accenture. I spent 10 years with the European Operations Center, the EMEA Operations Center for Microsoft, and with Accenture. And you might look at some of the size of programs I've done here and ask, why am I on a SMB type discussion? I wasn't always working on large-scale transformation, and my career has naturally developed from SMB into enterprise and large-scale and very large programs. But some of the things I want to talk about when we come to the discussion is the relevance and the principles across those large-scale transformations still apply to small programs. One of the takeaways is that often the large-scale programs I lead for DT are actually not digital transformation programs. They're more a digital transformation portfolio. A lot of unrelated initiatives, digital initiatives nonetheless, but unrelated. They're not dependent on each other. And because of that, each of these are small programs in their own right. And these are the ones where SMB have some relevance because there's less budget, less people, and less time available to do some of these. So I've worked across public sector, private, the government here in the region, Majid Al Futtaim, EMR, and Emirates Airlines. So each of those has given me some unique insights to how to be successful in the Gulf with digital transformation. And there's some of the topics that I can add to the discussion when we move to it.
So, Marc, you have been doing a lot of transformation work. Can you just share with us the mindset shift challenges and that you may have encountered potentially? And I spoke about the immune system response, where an immune system in an organization to me is like doing a kidney replacement. The first thing you have to do is to give them immunosuppressants to soften the antibodies, and then you put the kidney in there, and then you can have half a chance. Because 75% of transformations fail, as we know, not because of technology, but because of this kind of internal immune system response. What is your experience in addressing that? In all of the companies that you have worked in the past?
As a general rule, there's always a desire and a need and an appetite for digital transformation, but I guess an inability to understand how to take that first step. Now, Kamal has talked about the maturity assessment, understanding where we are today, where we need to be, and what's the roadmap and steps towards it. But that first step is often the hardest. How do we actually get started, especially when we're talking about smaller enterprise, where potentially everybody in the company is working on operations or running the business or serving customers. Now, if you don't have that capacity to actually start a program, it often never gets started. There's an inability to take that first step because no capacity. What's important when I'm talking to clients about this type of inertia is a digital transformation program is not a program. It's a way of working. It's a culture. It's a mind shift change. And it doesn't have to be grand and large and multi-million-dollar. It's important to start small, learn what's working with a very small digital transformation program or digital initiative, learn what's working, and then start to scale with that. That also gives exposure to your own staff and teams on how to be a project participant. Often, a lot of the companies I work with, people have never worked on a project. They've been in their career 10, 15 years, and they're very good subject matter experts, but they've never actually worked on a program. So coming in and kicking off a program tomorrow and expecting it to work, no. You need to make sure that there's an understanding on how the organization is going to support and adopt it.
Do you think the customer is always right? Everybody smiles. Do you think the customer is always right? I don't think so. Does the customer know what he wants? or needs?
Often that's a loaded question there you're asking. The customer is always right has been the mantra since day one. The customer is not always right. Even when you're thinking of products and services, sometimes the customers don't know what they want. It's our job to take voice of the customer, subject matter expertise, data, insights, research, marry them all together to then come up with a product to test the market. It could mean you're creating the market, but the customer may never have asked you for that product at all without you bringing all those inputs together.